Mary, I'm about to get naked. No peeking now. Alright. I said no peeking. I said no peeking. Sorry. Just keep your mind and eyes on the road. Alright, alright. Gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to my review of Logan Lucky. Right, Logan Lucky is a heist comedy directed by David Soderbergh, who you may know from the Oceans trilogy, which are also heist movies. Sorry, and is trademarked all over this film, basically. In the case of the Oceans trilogy, I have seen them. I liked them. But in the case of 1 and 2, I wasn't incredibly impressed, particularly number 2s. I thought they were good, but not great. I think they were a bit too convoluted. However, number 3 was probably my favourite because it was a bit more personal, more so than the last 2. 2 was probably the least personal. But number 3, it was a bit more personal because one of the guys in the heist had been, let's say, ripped off by Clint Eastwood's character. Was it Clint Eastwood? No, it wasn't. It was Al Capone's character, not the gangster, the actor. And so it got a bit more personal. One had a bit of personal stuff in it because it was revealed that, sorry, just adjust this. Danny Ocean's wife was now not married, dating the guy they were stealing from in the first one, and then I think he later joins them for the third. I'm not sure about the second. He might be a victim again. Well, victim. We'll say this about number 2. They do get the girls in a bit more. Well, a girl in, and I will see Ocean's 8 next year, and that's mostly female cast. We'll see how that turns out. Might be just as enjoyable, might be less enjoyable, or it could be more enjoyable. For me personally, I expect it's going to be just as convoluted. But we'll see how it translates. This one, again, they've got kind of a girl in, and it's kind of a family thing with the family of one family and another family kind of working their way to rob at the Coca-Cola 666 Speedway. I think that's what it said. I'm just checking the phone. Coca-Cola 600 on the Charlotte's Moor Speedway. So I like how it's a family thing, basically, and I like kind of the Oceans do a little bit with Danny and his wife, and then with the upcoming spin-off, his estranged sister. But and Matt Damon's character's parents also join in the ride in the third and fourth film, second and third films. But this one just felt a bit more family-centred, and kind of liked that. However, as I said, the plot is very convoluted, particularly in the first half. It does, I think with these heist films, they get a bit more understandable when you get to the third act, when they're actually revealing it. Then again, that third act, I think, was a bit too long. I think it could have been 20 minutes shorter, maybe 25. And quite a lot of stuff came out of nowhere. it's the ending in particular that was a bit strange. Spoilers for the movie, by the way. If CinemaSins were watching, they'd probably have a field day. It's great that we have a female writer writing the film, and we've got one co-writing Ocean's 8, and it shows they write just as well as men, because it's just as convoluted as the Ocean's trilogy, and probably many other heist movies. So it's good on the writer Rebecca Blunt, I think that was her, but it is super complicated. Trying to come up with heads. The plan makes sense. I'll give them that. Again, like I said, Act 3 kind of reveals somehow a bit more of how they pulled it off, and they get the money, even though they send quite a lot of it back. But even then, it's still quite confusing. Although there are some quite simplistic things, such as the prison breakout. It's actually it's clever, but also quite simple, and also the distraction to keep them away from the infirmary, whilst the two escaped inmates are on the helping out with the heist before going back there to make sure that they were never missed and finish the sentences, which aren't that long. One of them was only went there to work with to help the other one get out there and get back in for the day. The cast was pretty good for the most part. Daniel Craig is easily the best thing in the movie, and does a great southern accent, which is strange. He's the only British guy in the film, to my knowledge. There might be others, but he's British, and they get an American, Seth MacFarlane, to play a British entrepreneur businessman. Well, MacFarlane does well, actually, I didn't even notice it was a British voice accent. I thought it was an American one. But, yeah, MacFarlane does a good job, and Craig does a brilliant job. Channing Tatum and Adam Driver do good jobs in their roles, as does who was the girl? Played the sister. And the two brothers of Craig's character, Riley Keough also Brian Gleeson and Jack Quad. Also, the guys who play the FBI agents, they look so much like FBI agents. You'd swear that's probably the characters they get to play most of the time. They get to play FBI or authority figure characters. There's also a nice little subplot about the eldest brother, Jimmy, played by Channing Tatum. I think that's right. Making sure, trying to help out with his daughter, who's now in the full custody of her mother, and they've divorced, and she's remarried this guy and had two boys with him. Yeah, Channing Tatum's character is Jimmy. And so that's a nice little subplot. But the main plot itself, and another subplot, is the prison riot, apparently, which is the distraction. One of the distractions the prison guards gets to distract, well, not the prison guards, the inmates get to distract everyone from Daniel Craig and Adam Driver's characters escaping, Joe Bang and Clyde Logan. Also, Sebastian Shaw plays a driver who is promoted or something by MacFarlane's character. He's only in it for a little bit, so it's not really that much of a worry. Then he does an alright performance, and Katie Holmes is okay as her character, but the former wife, but she is very bitchy sometimes. Sometimes she can be bitchy, sometimes alright. Her husband is just the kind of guy who's like, hey, I'm kind of a bit kind of rich, but I'm not that much of a jerk about it. I do show off though, so I might seem a bit. And I think at some point I'm not shut up. I think there's a scene where he's talking to Melly that feels unnecessary. They're just talking about the cars, and that's at the carnival and it feels unnecessary. That was a out of nowhere unnecessary scene. That one could have been cut. That would have saved at least 3 minutes, maybe 2, of screen time. The credits are short though, I'll give them that. Credits are short to make up for the long third and final act, which was so dragged on. I mean, they got to wrap up the story, I understand that, but the FBI stuff and some of the other stuff that's happened is a bit of a drag. And it's strange that Nellie and Daniel Craig's character Joe Barnes Bang get together, but there was some sort of romantic tension. No, there wasn't. I think the closest thing to romantic tension before the end was probably the scene where Daniel Craig gets naked and he's telling Nellie, not to look. And also maybe in the tunnel they were probably just helping each other, taking the money out. But aside from that, there wasn't really much of a romantic tension. But it's not as bad as another out-of-nowhere love romance thing that happens between Jimmy and a former classmate played by Catherine Waterston, who you may know from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and Alien Covenant. And that one is... Well, she appears, gives him an injection, because she's kind of working as a doctor. They have a chat about being their own childhood, and then then he sends her some money, just because, I guess. And they send kind of a woman who's working at the bank, and they sent a birthday cake and then rammed a car into her car, and so they could put the cockroaches in and ruin the cake so they could get to the vault, apparently. I don't know, that actually came out of nowhere as well, that kind of a vault thing. That was just after they had to push the plan back a week, bring it forward a week. Actually, thinking about it, that bit made even less sense than some of the other stuff. I don't know what it was. And then they sent her some money at the end, or a new cake or something. They send her a present at the end, like with Waterston's character gets some money, and the other members of the team get their share. And Clyde gets a new arm. Yeah, he only has one arm. The other one is a prosthetic because he was apparently in the war. But you'd swear by looking at the film, it looks like he was only born with one arm and the other one is unfinished. As some people are like that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's where you only have one arm, the other one's kind of a curved at the end before you get to the elbow, or after the elbow but before the hand. And, I think you see something like it in Amazing Spider-Man with Dr. Kirk Connors, and you get some people usually presenting occasionally, where there's only part of an arm, usually on the left. And it's the right one, although in Dr. Kirk Connors' case, I think it's the right arm that's missing. And with Clyde Logan, it's the left one again. Usually it's either. But yeah, I just thought it was something like that, but apparently it lost it in a military duty. But he gets a robotic arm at the end, and he had a prosthetic arm throughout most of the film. Strange. So yeah, the romance between Jimmy Logan and Waterston's character makes even less sense than the one between Nellie and Burns. Although apparently they were classmates or so, but that doesn't explain why they have a romantic tension all of a sudden, romantic interest in each other now, apart from Jimmy wanting a kiss at that one time. But I don't know. What's even stranger than those two romantic stuff is that Clyde gets talking to this girl at the bar who, I don't know who it is, nobody knows who it is. It's not, I don't think it's the FBI agent. I thought it might have been, but it doesn't look like it. So, I don't know what's going on. That's just the ending. Most of the movie I was unsure what was going on. I didn't have a clue. And I think this is the problem with heist movies. It's too complicated. They need to be a bit more simplistic. I think they put some stuff simple, like the prison breakout. That was good. And when they revealed it, it was like, okay, that's interesting, that's clever. But before that, it's just building, and until you actually get to the heisting, it's quite convoluted. But the actual heist itself is actually a pretty good plan. It's really good, and Daniel Craig's character is great with the homemade explosives. You can't, as he said, you can't exactly walk in with proper explosives to the 600. They've all the security on them. But yeah. And the car scenes, they're pretty good. There isn't much of it, though, but it's still pretty good. In total, Logan Lucky, it's an enjoyable film, but it's very convoluted, and there is a couple of questionable plot moments, maybe some plot holes there and then, and it's quite confusing. People who like heist movies will probably like it. Maybe if you like the Ocean's trilogy, but if not, then it's maybe not your cup of tea. I really only went to see it because I was going with some friends, and it had Daniel Craig in it, and it did look a bit interesting, and we all agreed as we were going out it was a bit convoluted. We were discussing good points, bad points, and yeah, stuff coming out of nowhere. On the bit where Jimmy goes to see his daughter play, that was nice, but yeah, that was a good moment, and it got him an alibi for the crime to make sure he wasn't there. So, all in all, Logan Lucky, it's a good film, but it's not brilliant, it's alright. I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10. Out of 10. It's not the greatest thing in the world. It's alright. It's a good. You like heist movies, you'll like this one. As one of my friends said, they're probably starting to die out. People aren't that much interested. If Ocean's 8 is good, I hope that they do make 9 and 10. If they decide to make a 9th and 10th ones, it's possible because 8 is free from 11, so 9 and 10 could happen. And I have wondered what happened to Oceans 1 to 11, 1 to 10. 8 to 10 would help fill that gap. But, yeah, like I said, if you're not really worried about it, I won't blame you. It's actually bombing over in the United States. Not doing very well, despite good critical reviews. Sorry for any outside noise. But, you know, it's not that great. It's alright, but it's not great. Shout-out times. Now, shout-outs go to the friends I saw it at the cinema with. Shoutouts go to Mr. TARDIS11, aka Ollie Pajak, who'll be doing his own review on this film. If it's not already out yet, it'll be soon. And he was the one I was talking to the most with about it. And also to shoutouts to Keith Sargent and Raith Robinson. I think that's his name. Let me check that. They're on Facebook. If all three of them are on Facebook, if you've got Facebook, go check them out. I'm sorry for any outside noises. It's the end of coming to the end of the summer holidays. There are a lot of little kids out. Yes, it's Raith Robinson, and yeah, I've seen some films at the cinema with some friends. Me and Ollie were going to see Lego Batman together, but he wasn't able to come. We were going to go to the new Harlow Town Centre one because that one at time of Lego Batman's opening was only release was only open for 2 months or so. So we decided to check it out, but only I was able to go. Ollie wasn't able to come, but I did join him as well as Ollie Newton and Raith when we saw Logan. That's how I met Raith, and then me and Ollie also checked out Wonder Woman with Raith and maybe Ollie in together, and then Cars 3 with Ollie and Raith. And now this one with Ollie, Raith, and Keith Sargaran. I think I might have said Sargent, but it's actually Sargaran, who I met on the set of Christmas Bonding last July, and worked with on the set of Family Bonding. Not Family Bonding, 50 Slices Bonding. For this last month, at the end of this July, and we'll probably be seeing each other again at other films and seeing other films at the cinema or filming the films. And I say seeing as in, like, I'll see you again, old pal, not dating. No, he's already got a girlfriend and I want to get one. So, yeah, Logan Lucky, if you like the type of stuff, go see that. And yeah, so shoutouts to Ollie Pajak, aka Mr. TARDIS 11, Raith Robinson, Key Sargaran, and because we've seen some other films at the cinema, one or two others together, Ollie Newton, who also works on the Christmas and 50 Slices Bond films, and has also helped on Agents Exchange, which she and Ollie are in. Other Ollie. Both Ollies are in. So, thank you for watching. Not sure when the next video will be. I'm hoping to see it at some point. And then Kingsman Secret Service. Not Secret Service. Golden Circle is in Secret Service. But I'm really hoping Earth Agents to get done sometime in September. Which could be now, depending on when this goes up. So I really need the footage. 2 of you know who it is. I mentioned it in the recent live stream. One of you certainly has YouTube. I don't know if the other one does. But you know who you are. And I need the footage. At least for episode 1. Which is the only one of the 2 appears in. The other one appears in all 3. But I need episode 1 ASAP. Other 2 can follow soon. But quickly. Very soon, but not too soon. But I really do need episode 1 quickly. Everybody else, that's why Earth Agent Series 2 is delayed. And has been since the end of July. Well, mid-July to be honest. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Stop rambling now. I'm just gonna see if I can position this a little bit more. Let me just check my times. Okay, it's a few more minutes. Mary, I'm about to get Sorry. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Try again. Okay, alright. Sorry. Done. Yeehaw. Just keep your mind on the road and your eyes. Whoa! Just keep your mind. Just keep your mind and eyes on the road. Just keep your... No.